Hello, welcome to my barn. Today I wanted to introduce my barn cats and talk a little bit more about my barn cats. I came to this property a year and a half-ish ago at this point, and when we moved here, I knew that mice and rats and things like that were going to be around, and also I'd always dreamed of having barn cats that could just hang out with me in the garden and follow me around, and they would just be so cute, and it's every girl's dream to have as many cats as possible, and when they're outside, that is very manageable. So with that being said, I went out to find myself some barn cats, and my first barn cats I got from a friend who were strays, so they were brothers, and I only intended to get 2 cats, but I ended up getting 4 cats, not counting the 3 cats that were already here when I moved here. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to those 4, 5, 6-ish, 7-ish cats and talk to you about them, and talk about the main group of cats and the stray cats that I feed that I also consider my barn cats because they're under my care basically. Speaking of the devil, here is Porkchop. They're probably not all gonna be like, let me hold them the whole time. This is Porkchop. He's one of my barn cats. He is what I would consider the alpha barn cat. He's a really cool guy. I got him in Tennessee when I was visiting my dad, and we went to this flea market. It's on the border of, I think, Alabama, but Tennessee and Alabama, there's like a flea market there, and they have tons of animals and random antiques and stuff. But we were walking by, and this guy had a dog carrier with 3 kittens in it. There were 2 girls and Porkchop, who was the boy. We wanted the 2 females because my dad wanted 2 girl barn cats. He didn't want any more boys because he didn't want to deal with neutering them. So we're just gonna take the 2 females. He said, they were like, oh, well, please take the boy, he's free, and we'd really like to keep them together, and we just really need to find new homes for them. And I felt bad for them, so I agreed to take Porkchop from them. The dog carrier had urine in it, and they had fleas, and they were super skinny. And I don't really blame the people because I could tell they were trying to do the right thing, and they just didn't have the resources to take care of these cats or didn't know how to. I am glad that I took him. He is probably my worst cat with feline herpes. You can see now he has like crusties on his eye, but anyway, so he was a skinny, flea-ridden, nasty thing. I went home and gave him a bath, and he was super friendly and playful, and when he came home, he fit right in. There was a period of time when he was young where he had a fever and stopped eating because the feline herpes was so bad, but we got over that. As far as his role here on the farm, he is one of our best hunters. He patrols a lot of the fields. He kills tons of rats. And he's just a really nice guy, very friendly with strangers and dogs and horses, and if you go on a walk, he'll go on a walk with you, and we really love Porkchop here on the farm. I'm surprised he's letting me hold him this long, because normally he won't let me hold him, but he'll want strangers to hold him, but I think he's in a loving mood right now. So that's Porkchop. He's the coolest guy. I'd be really sad if anything happened to him, but we keep all of our barn cats up to date on their vaccines, and they're all spayed and neutered and healthy. And so far he hasn't really, it's like he has an established territory, so I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon. But it's Porkchop. You can go now. And I see Bo. Bo's definitely not going to let me hold him that long, but I will show you Bo. So this is Bo. Bo is a little stray cat we got from my friend who lives in the city. She had a colony of stray cats that lived behind her house that she would feed and catch sometimes to get spayed and neutered, and there were these kittens, and she was able to catch these 2 brothers. So this was Bo. There's Bo and Kid. Bo's full name is Bo is Afraid, because at first I was like, I want to name all my barn cats after movies, but we abandoned that pretty quickly because, to backtrack, Porkchop was named Porkchop because he stole pork chops out of my dad's truck, and I don't know, old people like that kind of stuff. So he named him Porkchop, and so it broke the cycle of movie names immediately. But anyway, Bo and Kid are some of my first barn cats. I only planned on having 2, and he is a very sweet, shy boy. He lives up to his name of Bo is Afraid because he is shy and not the first to go investigate things. He's very sweet though. He's my fat boy. He eats nothing and gains a lot of weight, but he's one of my true barn cats where he mostly spends 95% of his time in the barn. He only comes up to the house whenever he is hungry, which is usually in the morning. He's waiting for me to come feed him. But yeah, so he's just a chubby little boy. There's not much to say about him other than he's just the best little barn cat. You can see how thick he is and cute, but he's very sweet once you get to know him. And I will let Bo go now. And I don't know if this one's gonna let me pick him up because he's not really one. He's one that showed up a couple, I don't know, like a week or two ago. And I still haven't gotten him neutered because I have yet to set up a trap for him. But he's a random stray cat, so let me see if I can pick him up. Come here, baby Big Ball. So this is baby Big Balls. He was named by my friend, mostly because she said it as a joke and then I thought it was funny. But he has his balls still, but we're hoping to get him neutered soon. But he showed up a week or two ago and he turned out to be super friendly. So I think he was maybe someone else's barn cat and he just wandered off because he's not neutered and ended up here. Or he just is a friendly guy, I don't know. But I don't know his whole story, but he's super sweet and he is funny because he'll obviously want me to come pet him and love on him, but then he'll hiss as I walk up to him, so his like weird feral instincts kicking in. But Mr. Baby Big Balls should hopefully soon be Baby No Balls. So that's all I have to say about him. And he is stuck around here for a minute, so hopefully I can get that trap set up. And not really a trap, I just need to put a kennel in here. So one day when I come out to feed him, because he's not always around, I can just pick him up and put him in the kennel, and that way I can schedule an appointment. That's Baby Big Balls. Here is Apples, one of my other favorite barn cats. She was named Apples because I got her at the same time as Porkchop. I actually got her before Porkchop because we had gone to an Amish leather shop and there was a box of free kittens and there were 2 orange ones and Apples. And she was just so cute and I had never seen a dilute tortoiseshell calico thing like her before. So I just couldn't resist and I got her. She's not one to be held right now, but she was, I got her in the same trip as Porkchop. So then I went to that flea market, saw Porkchop, and I'm like, more the merrier. And that's how I ended up with 4 official barn cats. Kid, Bo, Apples, and Porkchop all grew up together. Apples is my only female of that group, and she is super playful and hyper, and she loves to climb trees, and she's a psycho killer, and she loves to jump up on you, and she's extremely loving, except right now she has other things on her mind. I think the roof rattling is freaking her out. But she is like a crazy big cuddler and purr, and she'll always jump into people's cars when they come over. So we really like her. She would be a horrific house cat because of how destructive she would be. She is like insanely hyperactive and is always the one instigating play fights. So that's Apple. She was named Apples because Porkchop and applesauce go together. And I didn't want to say applesauce because I think Apples is cuter. What else is there to say about you? I guess I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, that's Apples. There's another barn cat out of the first 4 group named Kid. So he would be the Sundance Kid when I was still doing the movie name theme. But he is not around right now. Sometimes they are in the barn, sometimes they're not. What do you do? But he was here this morning. So I'll just talk about Kid. Kid is Bo's brother. They are from the same litter. He is not as chunky. He's a little more social, less skittish, I guess. He's always up at the house. He's more of a house porch cat than he is a barn cat. I rarely see him kill anything. He'll like play with the dead mice and stuff other cats have, but I've never seen him actually kill anything. That doesn't mean he hasn't killed anything, but I just don't think he's the top predator of the property. But yeah, Kid is just kind of the opposite of Bo. Bo is shy, he's social, Bo is fat, he's not. Yeah, there's not much else to say about that. Bo has spots, Kid has stripes, so that's how I usually tell them apart. And then, other than those main 4, Baby Big Balls is a part of this group where it's like kind of the transient cats. We have Thunder and Marbles. They were here when I bought the property with their mom. I haven't seen the mom since then, but occasionally I'll have Thunder and Marbles. They'll vanish for a while and then they'll come back and then they'll vanish for a while and come back. Right now we have Thunder who's been hanging out, but she already ate today, so she's not around. We also have a cat I call Dumpster because I always see him by the dumpster. I've never been able to pet him or get close to him. He's definitely fully feral, but I've occasionally caught him watching me in the barn when I'm just hanging out with the horses. I'll turn around and Dumpster's there watching me, so he's definitely curious. He definitely eats some of the food when I'm not around. And other than that, we've had, various other strays that don't stick or whatever. I see them around. There's an orange cat I've seen in the field that definitely isn't Kid or Bo. So those are my barn cats. I got barn cats because of obvious reasons. I live on a farm. I have stuff like hay and grain, and That's going to attract things like mice and rats and voles, and they're going to poop and pee on everything and chew on things and eat all my food and soil it, and also get in your house. And I think we all know what a mouse in the house is, why that's bad. As far as the debate on whether or not cats should be outside or not, I think it just depends. I think if it's on a farm and it has a purpose and a job and a place it's supposed to be, it's totally fine. They serve a purpose. They are an efficient way and an eco-friendly way to kill mice. You can argue that they're probably catching things they shouldn't, like native birds and things like that, but that's just a risk I am willing to take in the quest to maintain my property in a way that I see fit. But if you live in like an urban area, I mean, it's a whole different debate. I can't say exactly what's right, but I personally wouldn't have an outdoor cat in an urban area. There's too high a risk of cars hitting them or someone else picking up your cat and taking them, or getting diseases from other cats because you're in a closed-in space where they're meeting a bunch of other cats so you don't know their vet history, which obviously I have strays out here, but it's like a less frequency of like a less dense population area. You also have the risk of injury from dogs. They probably fight each other more. And again, like in those urban spaces, they're also killing native species that are just trying to survive in an urban environment, which there's really no purpose to be doing that in an urban space. But it's an endless debate. A lot of people might frown upon barn cats in general, but the way I see it is they're serving a purpose. They get vet care, they're still fed, their fur is as soft and clean as an indoor cat's. So it is what it is. It's the choices that I'm going with here, and they all seem really happy and healthy. Another question that might arise is, why does a cat like Rocky get to be inside, but then these cats are outside? It has more to do with just the goals at the time I was having. At the time when I was getting these cats, they had the sole purpose of being outside, so I trained them to be outside. They had a place that I put them in a kennel, kind of trained them to where they're supposed to be, and then they've lived their whole life outside, so they've never known an inside life. Whereas Rocky, I got him and he was inside for a very long time before he was even to a healthy standard to where I'd even say, okay, you can go outside now. So he knew a life inside. And also, I just don't think he's fit to be outside. He's not very athletic. He doesn't even jump on tables or counters. When he jumps, he always falls. He just wouldn't do well outside, I don't think. As far as other cats showing up that maybe I don't think are fit to be outside, I would probably just rehome them as pets. I'm also willing to, once my barn cats become too old or need to come inside, I know that's a reality that I'll probably be bringing them either inside or making some kind of, warm, nice enclosure for them. I think in general, if you're just getting barn cats, it's good to keep in mind the long term of their life and the expense of keeping them. And there's different ways. Some people have barn cats and they're half feral and they just, don't even feed them, or they might feed them a little bit. And it is what it is. There are some cats that are so feral that that's the best choice for them, but you should always spay and neuter. We don't need more of them running around. Baby Big Balls will soon know that reality when he becomes Baby No Balls. So yeah, so that's my barn cats. That's my thoughts on my barn cats and how I kind of raise them and have them. And I know it's a bit controversial as far as, I feel like a lot of aspects of pet ownership are controversial because some people have different views on what is and isn't cruelty or environmentally friendly or whatnot. But anyway, so that's all I got. Let me know if you have any more questions or thoughts about my barn cats or who you liked the most, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.